Welcome everyone, Dr. Thor here. Get ready for Gnosis. Well, I've covered this a little bit, but I wanted to go specifically into Bill Jensen, known for his radionic machines, particularly the Hieronymus machines that he was building for years. He put together a lot of data on them. He sold large CDs full of information on the Hieronymus machine, the research he did, and he discovered several other types of energies as well, and was selling some unusual items of little known validity or quality. Pretty much what he built was very poor quality for several reasons, it appears. First of all, this guy is very unstable, and I believe he has passed away. I'm not sure. His plans for his different machines are available out there, and he did do a lot of research. I'm not sure that any conclusions that he made has any value. Now, he was on eBay for many years, and he's disappeared now for about 3 or 4 years. Just before he disappeared, I purchased a basic Hieronymus machine and an anapathic machine, which is supposed to be sending out balancing energies to you all the time. Now, I have completely reviews on these showing the machines, and of course those who are interested in seeing the inside of these machines and the quality build or not, in these very strange, huge, cheaply made pine cabinets, can find that out on our all-access membership in the future and a Patreon membership. Now, you can go to our About page on the home page of YouTube, click on About, and you can find our Patreon link and our main website link, since we're having problems with links on our general pages here. But you can try the links below here, and I hope that you will support us. And if you're really interested and want serious information to see what the guts of things are, well, you need to support us. We've paid lots and lots of money to obtain all these machines that we've posted on YouTube, and that money has to come from someplace, and we need money to bring in researchers to work with these machines, take them apart, and figure them out. Now, the bottom line is that all of this technology is quite fascinating, as hung around because there seems to be some validity. It's like ancient magical practices. Why are practices that go back 10,000 years and more still used today? Is it fantasy? Is it delusional thinking? Well, the bottom line is things hang around mostly because they work, plain and simple. The same thing with radionics, and of course we just don't know. As with anything that is suppressed, you get two camps that form. One that just screams it's just fraudulent garbage that we need to destroy, who led the charge to destroy all this technology without investigating it properly. This started in the 1950s with the persecution of Roos Drown and many others, Wilhelm Reich, other people that were all persecuted. And for what particular reason? Do we have research? Anything that can heal people and do this at a reasonable cost is something that we should be pouring millions of dollars of research money into. The high cost of medical care, which has a horrific failure rate, is a blight on this society, which will cause its demise ultimately. It's an evil and a sin against humanity. So to suppress anything that has a possibility of working and that has been proven to work for years and years is evil, plain and simple. There's no other way to describe it. We also need to know if something has validity or not. We just can't go around praying to a box of dirt somewhere because we think that this works or because somebody told you it worked. We have plenty of that stupid thinking going on, particularly with the religion of science. Science has such horrible dogma to it and answers so few questions that we certainly don't need more of that. So they're guilty of what they want to claim everybody else is guilty of: horrific fraud. We have other fantasies we live in. It's called religion, believing in some goofball in the sky. All of this silly things out there. We don't need this kind of fantasy thinking to permeate our society. Life should be based on truth. Truth is something that you can prove, not to yourself, but to the majority of everyone else around. Can you produce a result? And is this result a real result, meaning it's not trickery, just an illusion? Secondly, when it comes to things that we need desperately as a society, which is number one is healing and well-being, which is draining the entire world of all of its money, as well as free energy, everything should be on the table, plain and simple. The common medical institutions have failed us. They offer us nothing. And with the new failures of antibiotics, medical science has done nothing. They are nothing but greedy, evil people that drain you at your essence at the worst time of your life, while your relatives, friends, mothers, pals, brothers, sisters, children are dying in front of you. One thing that doesn't die is the bill that will come to your house. So this is a reality. Now, the alternative people, unfortunately, aren't any better. Anytime you get into alternative areas, which are people that don't fit into the system, apparently they can't think properly. They have to believe in silliness. One of these very bizarre people was a guy named Bill Jensen. So Bill Jensen, as I've mentioned, was on eBay for many, many years, mostly selling Hieronymus machines and a few other gadgets. When I contacted him, and he took bids for his machines, and he would build one for you very inexpensively, depending if he needed the money or not. He came out in a very weird way. He had certain videos you could watch and posted in different areas. I think he was on YouTube for a while. I'm not entirely sure. But he did have films showing his little experiments, and it was kind of very odd what we was trying to say. But everything that Bill Jensen stated was kind of odd. Now, the first thing he did was state how great of a Christian he was. Red flag, red flag, red flag. Danger, Will Robinson. Danger, Will Robinson. Oh. So, when you get people that start announcing this of how wonderful Christians they are, what they usually are hypocrites. I've known many of these types of people, and they tend to be the evilest, rottenest people they are. While Jesus comes out of their mouth, Satan comes out of all their actions. Now, he was very unstable, and of course you could speak with him and wanted to be coherent when he stated so. But he was always, and he also stated that he was always on the state of being on the street. And I don't know, he stated he had a wife, he had some money, he had a PayPal account, and this was frozen at times and opened again. So he was always kind of pull one hustle after another. Now, he obviously did his research and, of course, compiled a lot of information on Galen Hieronymus and put together all this stuff. Through his mind, he went through the different stages of Galen Hieronymus's inventions. And I think he came to the wrong conclusions, including the conclusions of that tubes weren't good. Well, tubes were transferred or deleted out of most products when solid state started to come in because of the fact that they were much cheaper. This was the new technology out with the old. Well, anyone who knows anything about tubes, which is quite a fascinating component into itself. It's like its own little machine. It's quite fascinating. A vacuum tube, they're called valves in Europe by the Brits, is quite fascinating. These are precursors to lasers and other things. So they're very, very unique, and they produce a very unique resonance and amplification. Any musician will tell you this. They will tell you plain and simple. The fact is that there is a tone you cannot get through solid state. Plain and simple. Now, so he thought it was so much better because, of course, everybody else said it. What I'm trying to say is to show how the thinking process there. But him screaming all this stuff, I'm poor, I'm this, I'm that, I believe in Jesus, so, make sure you bend over so I can steal as much out of your pockets as possible. These kind of people who distort and abuse everything. Certainly he was one of these. So you would talk to him and he would take a bid there. So if he needed money, he would take it. And of course he had nothing to ship to you. You would have to order from him and he would send it to you in a couple of months. Maybe. So the bottom line is he took the money. It doesn't cost a lot to build these machines. Remember that. All of these radionic machines don't cost a lot of money to build. Even if you want to put in a higher quality components, better cases, a better wire, etc. None of this costs a lot of money. I mean, the rip-offs you see out there called wishing machines cost like $10 to make. At the very most. And if you even get a nice cabinet and a few other nice things, which these manufacturers don't do, it would cost you $20. Not a lot of money involved in doing things right. You just have to have a mentality. So he stated that. So as the time went by and gave him months, and I contacted him, he then writes to me. I'm not sure there was a phone call or whatever. I don't remember. I believe he was writing to me saying he was kidnapped and held in a warehouse and he had all sorts of problems and that's why he couldn't get me the instrument and they broke into his house. This fantasy, crazy ass story that he told me. So I told him, okay, well, whatever. I'm not sure. I'm sorry to hear all these terrible things have happened to you. I'm not sure what that means. I'll see if I can get my money back from PayPal and what can done. He contacted me a day or two later and stated the fact that he had hidden units, backups that they didn't get that broke into his house. And he was supposed to send these directly to me, but I said, hey, well, there's somebody very close to you, and I can have you send it to them, so it doesn't cost anything, and I'll send you the additional money to ship that since I know you have no money. So I sent him more money so that he could ship these 2 units, which are approximately 2.5 feet long, giant boxes and a giant case for no apparent reason. Because if you see his units in other places, they are generally small, and Hieronymus units never had these giant cases. I don't know what he's doing here, what the point of that was, or anything else. So these were built wrong, basically. I don't know what his internal guts are. I will be opening his units for Patreon and All Access members, and we'll look at his stuff. His basically workmanship and other things are pretty poor. Making these machines is very inexpensive, as with all radionic machines. So I don't know how much he was paid, but he thought his machines were worth $1,200 and other things. Well, we had a deal anyway. He would build anything because he needed the money, and then he would play with the customers and see what he could do because he was desperate. I understood that and didn't push it for that reason. But anything else to do with him is a serious problem. So he's been now disappeared. I don't know if he's died or what's happened with him, or he's hiding out because of his fraudulent activities. Who knows? But you have to be very careful with people that have these kind of things. But what he was trying to do is cover up and delay things so that he would have less and less problems. So the more you delay things, that's what happens. So I don't know how much it was all into it or whatever. So I finally did get the machines from him, which were sent, and as he said, the quality, and you can see my reviews on there, and what he's done and how he's built it, etc. So he's built these things at the lowest, cheapest quality he possibly could, and I think this is mostly because of the fact that he just didn't have money, and every dime that he got went to his survival. I think, as I said, I mentioned there was a, quote, wife or someone else involved, but he always, he did state right out that he was living, in desperate situations and didn't have any money, etc. But of course, and he advertised selling his machines for several years. And as he said, would pretty much build them for anybody. You could come up with $200 or $300, which is probably all they're worth. But of course, you then got into the problem with him is that he would deliver it maybe if whatever. I tend to think that he is not selling things now. There's some rumors that he is in prison or has been killed or died. We don't know. He probably just cannot sell his stuff anymore because he's already hurt his market, and he comes off so weird. Why would anybody buy from him? So he was on eBay for many, many years, and he never sold many units, period. I think he had 10, 20 units sold over many, many years that were on his eBay account. So it's needless to say, it's a very serious problem with this very unstable person. His craftsmanship, his workmanship is all poor and can't be trusted because of his horrible, basically mentally ill state. This person is just plain and simple needs some medical attention to assist him, and tries to con people to think that when stating that he is a good Christian, which I bet he was, because the way he acts is how most Christians I know of acted. Backstabbing, liars, cheaters, cowards. This is what you get. But of course, it's no different than most of society. So that's not overly different. But they certainly weren't living by any higher principles. So, which is what is so amusing about Christianity. And he's just one of many. It's not the fact that, conclusions you come about people that state like this, people that have fish on their license plate and bumper stickers, all tend to be the lowest scum on the planet. It's just a fact. So that doesn't necessarily condemn Christianity, but it certainly doesn't give it a plus. The bottom line is mankind is all rotten and evil, and why should any religion be good? So it's with all of them. What religion is good? You find me one. So this is how the world works. So needless to say, if this person pops up again, you need to be very, very careful if you order anything from him. I would be very careful not to give him any money and try and get a COD delivery, cash on delivery that you would give him, but I wouldn't recommend buying from him, period. We plan on making Hieronymus machines ourselves of very high quality, using designs from the original person. Why can't we do that? Well, we can, and we will. We will be having a full line, and we're a trustworthy organization. Now, we've been around since 1980, and we've been extremely active in the last 5 or 6 years, but we've always been there. We've always taken care of our customers, and we put out very high-quality products that work, and we are here to back you up. We walk you through. We give you training. You have lifetime support with us, and we'll talk to you on the phone. We'll guide you through. If you have a problem with anything, we work through it. And these things can be difficult initially to understand and to figure out how to use. We also have very detailed video and audio training on everything that we produce. So this is what you need if you're going to buy from a good company where you're going to get support. And quality is very, very important. You have to have support. Now, this guy knew nothing about anything, and you certainly don't want to communicate with someone who is so unstable and who had the nerve to state that he was kidnapped. I mean, the kind of things he stated is so mentally ill, it isn't even funny. So you can find a lot of these things and information on Hieronymus and plans to build machines. They're all out there, and you can get them very low cost or even free. There's certainly no reason to go through people like this. But he should not be supported. He's not a person you can trust. He's already proven that. So it's very important that you only support quality people who back you up, who build quality items, instead of supporting a bunch of lunatical, satanic people that are involved in this industry, unfortunately. So everyone must really be careful who they deal with. And one of those that people should know about is Bill Jensen. Now, whether he'll pop up again or not is unknown. As I said, the gossip is, it's alleged that he is either has passed away or is in hiding because of criminal charges against him. But we don't know. That is alleged at this particular point. But you don't want to deal with this guy like everything. Gather all the information you can. Work with serious people that know what they're doing, that give you support, and then you won't have problems. And this kind of entire industry, if you can't get good support, if you don't have people that are building quality products, you're wasting your time. You're throwing money down the toilet. So it's very important in this industry. And who do you go to? Who can you trust in anything alternative? The bottom line is people have an extra guy, and they're selling you a supplement that, of course, is the cure for everything. They have a new treatment that is the cure for everything. It goes on, and this goes in cycles. It was garlic at one time. Garlic did everything. It's the miracle. You'll live forever if you take garlic. Garlic is a poison. So it has some benefits because your body is fighting it. So, but we all think it's wonderful for you. So there are so many things like that. And of course, coral calcium is going to solve all your problems. It's all calcium. Well, it's calcium that gives people heart attacks. Now, it's been moved away from the fact that people think it's fat. It's the buildup of calcium. Is it good for you? What kind of calcium is it? So these are all the things you come up with these things. And then, of course, it's the miracle tools out there. This thing, that thing, organo. What has any of this done? Well, it's done very little. These people make lots and lots of money and have zero proof. So as we got involved in all these things, we need to fully understand that of what's going on out there. A lot of it is plain and simple delusional people who have decided to start a little business based on quasi-facts about their uneducated realities and now selling these to you. Well, that's what it boils down to. What is their background? Who have they trained under? What are their studies? They know nothing. They have no technical skills. They have no background skills. They have learned from nobody and nothing. They're self-appointed experts with a few years of their own study. I mean, we got people that don't know how to drill into anything but a wood box that call themselves an expert. It's appalling. So it goes on, or somebody put a powder in something, and this is the miracle chi. It's a miracle. Yeah, it's a miracle that anybody would buy crap like that. So it's good to be forewarned is forearmed. So be careful, know the credibility, know the people you're buying it from. Their energies are in these machines that they sell to you, and they're con artists, they're cheats, and they're plain and simple. A lot of them are satanic, crazy MFers. So know what's going on, deal with the people, support important people like IGOS who have been doing this for many years, who are seeking truth, building the best stuff out there, and have now since 1980. For 40 years, we've been building and providing the best of everything, while everybody else has been giving you garbage. We are here to help and assist you. Can you get anybody else on the phone, or will they answer your emails? Good luck. You're not going to get any help. Maybe if you pay them $1,500 for a consultation. And I'm assuming a bunch of suckers do. It's really sad how all these things work. So keeping that all in mind, you have to be, as with everything in life, and it's not just this area, you can't trust anybody. You certainly don't want to trust your doctor, your lawyers, your local law enforcement. All of these people are dirty. They don't care. They only want your money. So be very, very careful, and that goes for anything else. Be informed, know what you're doing, and be very careful with the entire process. If you're going to bet things and spend a lot of money, be with a company you're going to know who's going to be there. Someone who will communicate and help you and who's available. Someone you can talk to on the phone and who will be able to speak with you. So, not all these other con artists. So, buyer beware. Bill Jensen is quite a disturbed person, and the quality of what he makes is junk. Where he wants thousands for it to fill his own pockets is probably worth $50. Keep that in mind. If anyone has any information on him or what he's doing now, or if he's still alive, etc., do contact me and we can update this information. Make sure you like and support, like and subscribe to this channel. There's lots more to come. We cover everybody in the industry. We don't pick and choose. We don't pass over people. If someone's involved in the consciousness machine radionic industry, I will give you my opinion on these people. And I've covered most of them, whether they're historical or operating today. If you have any questions, you can always contact me and ask me if this is a credible person. What about their technology, etc. I'm more than happy to help you. We need to bring this industry up. If we're going to, and I believe this is the technology for the future, We need to start moving it into the 21st century and start producing quality products that do something and work with people who are in it for more than the buck, or who have some sort of a semblance of sanity, if nothing else. So remember, sign up on Patreon, All Access, and support our work. Until next time.